Okay, well, my son just moved back from Georgia, where they have no snow, and this is northern Illinois, where we do get some, and winters are not friendly. So he got a winter beater, because his truck is two-wheel drive that he bought while he was in Georgia, and it had a backup camera. And his car before that had a backup camera, and this beater does not. But when you get used to one, you kind of depend on it. So we're going to put one in as this 2006 Jeep Cherokee that he bought. We're going to go with this camera. I think he got this from Amazon. I'll see if I can find a link for that. And this is the video head that I got for it. So we're going to try installing these and see how it works out. Let me back up. I think we're going to try installing it, here or here, so we don't have a lot of drilling to do. But when we do that, this piece, if you can see this will have to come off. So let me take that out of the way, and we can try drilling out. Okay, the cover's off, and you can see there's screws on the outside that you can see, but there's quite a few of these Christmas trees that are on there that you can take out with a pair of needle nose, pop them free, or they do make a special tool for it if you want to pick one up. It's a little V-shaped tool. You can slide in there and get behind it and pop it out, but the needle nose will work too, and if you have a long pair, it works really nice. And if you happen to break them, that's no problem, because just about any part store has those in stock. Okay, we're gonna mount the camera off to the side, off center here, because there's a handle here, and if you drill through here, you wouldn't be able to use the handle with the camera up there. So let's drill a 5/16 hole for the mounting, and we'll get that in place. Okay, I got the hole drilled on the outside, but I'm going to take off the handle for the gate. There's a nut here and a nut over here. You can see that, yeah, right here. Take those off and disconnect this. Take the cable out. Then I can pull the handle out from outside and get this out of the way, and it'll be easier to drill the hole on the inside to make it big enough to get the nut through there. So we'll be back in just a second. Okay, the camera is mounted up. So now we have to run the wire. Wires have to run from the camera, or run it up through the top of the gate, down through here, and then I don't know if I'll go inside the roof panel or down along the floor. Let me pull this piece, this off, and we'll see what we look like. Okay, you can see the taillight I've got out. This is a jumper wire setup that's been installed for the trailer harness. Originally this would have just plugged in. So I'll take this off here, and then we'll use a test light to find out which one of these is for the backup lights. And then I'll skin back some insulation and solder on the wire. Give me a minute and we'll be back to it. So we'll see if we can get this to work here. Get the test light hooked up. And there's our backup light. That's the only power that's turned on right now, is for the backup lights. And that is yeah, second one over. So now I'll peel back some insulation and solder into that. Okay, so you can see I've peeled back the wire again. And I'll use the test light just to double check, make sure I got the right wire and it's lit up. So we know that that's it. So now I just have to run my trigger wire from the camera back down to here. There are two sealed up holes here, so I'm going to use one of those, whichever one I can get to the easiest from inside. Okay, you can see I stuck a wire through this one. It's the top one, and that's because on this other side you can see there's a hole there where the wire is coming out of. So I'm just going to run my trigger wire down through there, and let me run that down. I'll get her soldered up and be back. Okay, you can see I've got the wire pulled through. Now I just run her down, solder it up, and then what I will do before I put this back together and the cover up here, I got the ground wire mounted right here, by the way, the camera. I'm going to hook the monitor up to the other end of this and make sure it's going to work before I start putting this all back together. Give me a few minutes to get her soldered up. Okay, here she is. Got it soldered up. Now I'll turn the put it in reverse again and make sure it's still there. Hold on. Okay, here we go. And she's still working. So we're all set for this part. I'll go ahead and put the tail light back in and then wire up the monitor in the front so that we can test the tail light back in. Backup lights are working. I'm gonna hook the monitor up front to see if it's gonna work right or not. Give me just a minute. Okay, I punched a hole, actually melted a hole through the dash there, and I've got to mount the monitor yet. The wires come down through the top of the dash. I ran the wires underneath the steering column from the side and then up through the top, and they're mounted here. For the power wires for the monitor, I have hooked that into the cigar lighter on the left side. This is a 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and that is a keyed power supply for the cigar lighter. So it won't have any power to the monitor at all unless the key is turned on. And of course it won't be triggered unless it's in reverse. Actually, we can try that out now if you want. Let's see here. And there you see. I don't know how well you can see that. Oh, it should be this way. That's the monitor. There's a lot of light reflection. But there you can see where it's gone. Wires are down through the dash, and it's actually going to work pretty good. I'll have to do some adjustment on the camera. Put the car on the driveway in front of another car. But that pretty much wraps it up. I have to put the dash back together. I've got the rear end back together already with the tailgate covers and side panel covers. That should wrap it up. If you don't have a 2006, the wiring is still going to be the same. There's a trigger wire in the back that you hook up to your backup lights, and a ground wire that's on the camera. And then you've got the feed wire from the camera up to the monitor, and the power wires from the monitor. And you want that through a keyed wire if you can. Keyed and fused. This is on it. The cigar lighter also has a 20 amp fuse in the system. That should wrap it up. Thanks. Okay, the module is mounted on the dash. Wires are all secured. Dash pad's all put back. Everything's all set, and it's ready to go. So we'll see you next time with something new.